You've landed on the Lonely Diplomat podcast, and wherever you are in the world, welcome. I'm Phil McAuliffe, and I'm the Lonely Diplomat. Welcome to episode 49, an extra special episode of the Lonely Diplomat podcast, because for those of you who listened to episode 48, you would have heard me say on that episode of the podcast that was the final episode of season 3, and that we would be coming back. I would be coming back for season 4 of the Lonely Diplomat in a few months. So this is an extra special bonus content, if you will, kind of like, when you watch a movie on DVD and there was that bonus scene that never before heard or seen or whatever that came unique with that DVD. Think of it like this. So also, I realized that I had started the season, so season 2 and season 3, on episode 39 and episode 29. And that was kind of bugging me. Not kind of, it really bugged me that I'd start a new season of 10 episodes on not a round whole number. So this way, season 4 will actually start at episode 50. It will kind of do my head in that season 4 starts on episode 50. It really should be episode 40, but what's done is done, and present Phil can't go back to past Phil and say, do it like this, to set up seasons and stuff like that. I know that I'm not alone. And so in my kind of need to start things at a nice round number. But quite apart from my sort of numerical OCD, perhaps, I wanted to just have this really quick chat with you as awesome listeners of the Lonely Diplomat podcast, which, as you know, is all about how we can reconnect with ourselves and the world around us as we live the diplomatic life. And the whole purpose here at the Lonely Diplomat and through the Lonely Diplomat podcast and my blog and my book and my unique mentoring services for diplomats and those who live the diplomatic life, so unique and they're individual, sort of individual mentoring calls. One of the things that I say about my work here is that it's all about serving, supporting, challenging, and inspiring you as you live your diplomatic life. And I wanted to set up season 4 of the Lonely Diplomat podcast before I take a break away from producing blog posts, away from doing new podcast material over the next few months, and kind of set something in motion for how I want to do season 4. Now, I think that there are so many untold stories about how other people in the global diplomatic community, other members of the global diplomatic community, are serving, supporting, challenging, and inspiring others wherever they are in the world. Now, that might be a very sort of micro level, sort of within a particular office, within a particular embassy, in a particular country, or that could be kind of like someone like me who has dreams of, helping people all around the world wherever they are, and are putting things into effect, all designed to serve, support, challenge, and or inspire diplomats and those who live the diplomatic life. And one of the things that's coming to mind is that I wanted to highlight the disruptors, those people who go, yes, diplomacy is, governed and ruled by protocols, is ruled and governed by processes and the rules of the game, the rules of diplomacy that we all know. And so whatever whichever country we're from, whatever language we speak, the rules and protocols of diplomacy mean that we all play by the same rules. So we can assure each other of our highest considerations in multiple languages. We always know, the order of precedence and the importance of that. We know how, car seating plans need to work and table seating plans for official dinners and functions need to go, and how, what I mean, how all of that, is really important. But then what we're doing is, as modern people who live in the modern age and actually, have gone through some pretty tough few years at a global macro level, let alone within our own personal lives, we kind of can feel that kind of tension within ourselves that, we live in this modern world and with modern communication and modern everything, and we're kind of ruled in our work life within those sort of set, very prescriptive protocols. And so that's a real kind of tension. And it takes a lot of effort to go to recognize that kind of the importance of the protocols and an observance of the protocols and following them, and actually, disrupting, using, the tools that we have available in the modern world as a way to serve, support, challenge, and inspire. So the next season of the Lonely Diplomat podcast is, I want to highlight the work that is being done by other people, wherever they are in the world, that kind of disrupts. I want to highlight the disruptors. I want to have a chat with them. I want to learn about them and then introduce you to them as well. So all about, I particularly want to highlight those who are serving, challenging, supporting, and inspiring others through them being themselves, through them doing something a little differently, and that's having great impact locally, regionally, or indeed globally. I want to have a chat with them and highlight their work. So if you know someone who falls into that category, or if you yourself are someone who falls into that category, someone within the wider global diplomatic community who is doing something online, offline, online, through social media, online through a blog or a podcast or whatever, and you really want to know a bit more about them, please send them my way. Let me know about them, and I can reach out to them or point them in my direction and ask them to reach out to me. I would really like to collate some stories about how real people are living their diplomatic life, but principally, and I'll say it again, focused on serving, supporting, challenging, and or inspiring other diplomats and those who live the diplomatic life to as they lead their diplomatic life. Now, this is not without risk, I'm going to say, because one of the things that I've learned about you, my awesome global audience, is that quite often you are extremely content to listen, to read, to observe, but not necessarily to participate. And I get that. I really, really, really do get that. It's hard as a government, as a representative of your government, to reach out in kind of in a way that sort of, might actually be frowned upon. That's not really the word that I was looking for there, but I understand how hard it is to reach out and say. So I really do hope that you're inspired to highlight the awesome work by someone around you wherever you are in the world, or indeed you who might be serving, supporting, challenging, and inspiring diplomats around you to reach out and say hello. So that's really what I would like is, point them in my direction, and I'd love to have a chat with them and then highlight their work for you, so you get to know that you are not alone in living the highs and lows of this diplomatic life. So that's really all I wanted to have a chat about today. And as I said, that I will be taking a couple of months off and away from generating blog content. I will be taking some time off from recording episodes of the Lonely Diplomat podcast. But over the next few months, I'll be highlighting some of the, I think it's like 53 blog posts that I've written over the last 3 and getting to 3.5 years now of my work here at the Lonely Diplomat, and also highlighting the other 48 episodes of the Lonely Diplomat podcast and sharing that on my social media. I also intend, while I'm taking a bit of a break away from generating new content, I'm going to be revising and reviewing my book, The Lonely Diplomat, Reconnecting with Yourself and the World Around You, which is available through Amazon, and the link in the episode description. I'm going to be reviewing that, updating that with things that have been happening over the past few years, observations, particularly around how a relationship and the end of a relationship, and how our employing agencies frankly need to do better in the support that they provide. And a couple of other, but basically just, I really want to spend some time having a chat to you through my mentoring services as well. So I'm really going to be focusing and creating space and capacity to do those calls and open up opportunities to do those calls. So just a reminder that I do mentoring. I do have mentoring services for individuals. So you, and that means you. And if you really resonate with my content, be that blog, the book, this podcast, and you really think that my wisdom, my insight, my understanding of the challenges of this diplomatic life and the highs and the lows of it, if you could really do with me in your corner, reach out to me and through the link in the episode description, and let's have a chat. Let's have a chat every month or every 3 months, and get me in your corner as you live your diplomatic life. And you can be assured that, I'll be noticing a theme here, that these calls will serve and support and challenge and inspire you as you live your diplomatic life. So that's all from this episode. Send the other awesome people who are doing great things and helping other people be awesomely and humanly themselves as they live their diplomatic life. Send them my way by sending me an email, admin@thelonelydiplomat.com, or reaching out to me on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and indeed here on YouTube if you're watching this episode through YouTube. All right, does sound like you're getting ready to leave. It was a very quick stopover on this episode, wasn't it? So until next time, be awesomely and humanly you, because the world really does need more you.